art and science magazine. And maybe I have to explain that I'm originally an artist, so I studied painting. However, for my diploma, I wanted to do something special, and I did some research, and I wanted actually to build a spaceship. And during that research, I visited many facilities, like scientific institutions. And I was mesmerized. It was so fascinating, intriguing what happened in those institutions, that I really loved the process. So I built the spaceship for my diploma, but I also had a little portfolio about the things I did, you know, to create this spaceship. And I loved it so much that I decided to continue. Even I had no idea how you create a magazine and everything around that. So everything learned in the process. And in the beginning, the magazine was not like super excellent, I would say. It was very self-made. The first 2 issues I completely did by myself. And then, of course, there have been requests from outside. Our current editor-in-chief, she's also from London, and she kind of submitted and said, oh, that's a fascinating, lovely idea. I'm a science communicator. I would like to join your team, and we're still working together. And this way, I also came in touch with photographers and designers. And so with every magazine, I would say after the 3rd issue, it got more professional. And yeah, right now we're working on the 6th issue. So this is how the process started.
Amazing. Thank you for letting us know. So yeah, as you might have guessed, we're going to be talking about passion projects and how to start them. We all have passions, and sometimes we want to turn them into something more, like Diana did. And especially with, you know, social distancing going on right now and more time on our hands, it's quite a good opportunity for people to start something new, perhaps if they haven't normally got the time, you know. Cool. So what would you say were the major sort of milestones and steps that you had to take to bring your magazine to life?
Like I said, to gather the perfect team, that I think was the first milestone, to have people who also share your vision. That's not easy because, yeah, there's some trial and error to find the perfect one. And the next thing I would say, to get it into the shops. So in the beginning, you know, the magazine was not as perfect and it got rejected, but with every issue, and I didn't give up. And I think this is something you have to be very honest to yourself, reevaluate, look at the magazine and see what didn't work, because it's about communication. You have to communicate. It means that people, like the audience, has to understand it, and also the shop owner has to understand it, because he's, you know, he's a middle step in that case. Yeah, and it's not an easy process. Especially for me, it wasn't easy because it was not something I learned at the university, like I said before, but I believed in the concept, and I'm still believing in the concept. You know, like we learn in society right now with the corona. So we now rely on scientists. You know, the scientists are the only one who can produce, the vaccine. And this is a perfect example how important science is right now. And another big thing that we're focusing on is space exploration, because space exploration is going to change our society in coming years. I mean, it already started, but yeah, we'll see how much they succeed, but they have big plans. And I think it's important to mention that because it had such a huge impact. The small things, you know, like viruses and bacteria, and also the big things. And yeah, right now I want to inform people and want to show them the bigger picture, and it's up to them, you know, maybe to join this conversation.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot going on, and when I sort of discovered your magazine, I didn't really know much about the science side of things. I'm definitely more of like a creative person myself, so it's really, really interesting to be able to like find out about how those two sort of topics can link together. and how important they are, especially to society, especially science right now, as you said. And I guess that kind of leads into the next question. What advice would you give to other creatives who are looking to bring their project idea to life? As you said, like finding a great team is probably
Yeah.
a big starting point, but is there any other advice you would have for people?
Yeah, like I said before, you you know, for example, the fourth issue turned out very well. And the main ingredient I put in there was passion. Like we said, like passion project, but it's really, I said to everyone, you know, not every detail has to be perfect, but if the designer, the photographer, the person who writes puts their own kind of nerdiness in that, because it's also a little nerd magazine, I think we can do something even more special. And this is what happened since then. Everybody, yeah, puts their hidden kind of passions into that as well. Maybe something you don't like to show, but this makes it more unique. So this is also an advice, you know, because, you know, there's so many products out there. There's so many magazines out there. And yeah, this honesty and this passion you bring to that, and your own personality, this makes it very unique. And yeah, you need endurance and persistence. Yeah, and many things. I mean, that's I think business coaches tell you all the time, you know, there's only so little you see in the end, because many ideas don't don't work out. But yeah, you can't put your head down, you know, keep doing, keep trying, keep working on it.
Definitely. I think that's one of the most important things when you're starting, you know, a passion project, is you have to really feel the passion from within, to carry you through. And as you said, for like the teams, everyone that you meet, once you find the right people, they all bring a different strength to the team, which is really important, I think. Because everyone has like a certain, you know, talent or something different that they can bring. So I think that's really, really good advice there. Um, and kind of a topical question now, especially from, you know, a lot of people are at home. How do you stay inspired and productive when working for yourself and being at home?
Um, you know what really helps me at the moment, and I was also sharing this on the Plasma account, you know, people in space, especially astronauts at the ISS, have a very similar situation, and they're still very productive and inspired. And I think, like, you have to have a little schedule. This is like the base you have to have right now.
Mhm.
And you know, you have so much in the internet, and I'm sure everyone has books at home. And yeah, reading things, listening to music, even if you only have the chance to look outside the window, but you know, you can maybe see the sky, or you can see anything around, and it could be little things. And I think now is also the time to appreciate little things. I think everybody agrees, you know, right now, to go shopping or to go for a walk, I see much more details than I saw before. And those little details, I also posted like on my yesterday on my private account, you know, I take a walk and I see funny plants or houses that look like faces or something. And yeah, like, keep your eyes open, and there's so much to see and to experience. And yeah, and you can see like astronauts handle it very well, and even make little experiments up there in space, and they have a much more hostile environment actually, and much more challenges also. Yeah, they do workouts, and yeah, also Skype with their family. So they have a very similar situation. And they also said you have to set goals. Maybe you say, you know, at the end of the quarantine, I want to publish a book, or I want to have a painting that I can put up my wall, and or a t-shirt collection, you know, it could be things like that. And maybe if you set a goal and you're saying, say to yourself, oh, I need to achieve those skills, then now's the time, because you don't want to look back at the quarantine time and only, watch Netflix. Even I would say Netflix has a lot of amazing shows. I watch it as well, but yeah, there are so many other things to do.
Yeah, definitely. I found myself sort of finding creativity that I didn't even realize I had, like when taking photos and things for Teespring. I'm sort of finding new ways, like new places to take pictures, like that I wouldn't have even thought of before. So I
Yeah.
think it's obviously a horrible situation that we're all in, but I think it's important to try and find the positives and find your creativity and make the best of the situation that we're in. So I think that's really good advice. Um,
Yeah.
and then sort of coming on to your merch collection, like plasma merch collection, what made you want to start your own plasma merch range with Teespring?
Um, what I always found fascinating, that people can kind of wear art. So I think this is what fashion is kind of about. And I'm also very interested myself in fashion. And the latest
Mm-hmm.
collection we did, I think I even like it most because we really put pages, like literally pages from the magazine, on the shirts and long sleeves. And I must say, yeah, it's I think it's very beautiful, to see that magazine kind of walk around. I could see that because I also had to do my own merch pictures, and yeah, that was very lovely to see. And um yeah, so to have the idea that the magazine is everywhere in this world. It's kind of spreading in a good way. It's a good spread. And also the same happening with the shirts. I really like that. And what I also like from the start, that you only print, when somebody wants a shirt. So it's not we're producing 1,000 shirts and
Yeah.
then we don't know, where to put them. I think it's very sustainable, the concept in
Mm-hmm.
general of Teespring. I really like that from the beginning. And yeah, I also wear a shirt right now. I really like, so for the quality and everything, and how you can put also your own designs. It's very easy.
Mm-hmm.
The whole handling, and yeah, I'm so far happy with it. I'm happy I started, but I already have some more ideas, so I'm happy also
It's
to
exciting.
continue.
Well, I'm always excited to see your designs coming through. Um, and what would you say the response from your community has been since you've made the merch? Like, have you had like positive responses? Have people been, excited to see your new designs and everything?
Yeah. So far, people most love the moon shirt. The moon shirt shows like different moons from the solar system. And I'm also
Mm-hmm.
always been a big fan of the interplanetary travel. And of course, everybody knows our moon, but not so many people know, Jupiter is like 67 moons, and they all like have their own little worlds, and they have water or frozen ice, and Titan is like an early stage of Earth, and it looks so beautiful, all those spheres. And yes, so far the t-shirt kind of introduced those moons, and yeah, people really like it. And we got a lot of really lovely responses, and people bought it, to yeah, go on stage. One girl, she was a DJ. She said, "Oh, I bought it. I want to go on stage with it." But then Corona came. However, she's very happy with the shirt, and I'm sure she's gonna wear it afterwards. But yeah, they've been very sweet messages and pictures we received. That's very lovely.
Yeah, you always seem to have some lovely pictures coming through on your Instagram account from people, wearing your designs. Um, I love the moon design myself as well. It's it was one of the most sort of, I remember seeing it coming through on the Teespring tagged, and I was like, wow, this is a design I've never seen before. And I'll make sure to, for everyone else who's watching, to link your designs afterwards so that they can check them out as well.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you.
and Yeah, I saw a question come through on the comments, which I thought was quite interesting. How someone said, how sort of do you get noticed in terms of like social media? What is the best way to start promoting?
Um, so I must say I can see, if I post something, it immediately shows in the statistics. I get more views and I also get orders. I would say the posts are the best.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I'm still kind of a little figuring out, but like you said before, with the quarantine, I can tell now the photos maybe get more intimate. You can't go to fancy
Hmm.
location, make a big setup. It gets more personal, and I think that's what people really love. They can really relate
Hmm.
to that, and that's why also before with the moon shirt, we received actually kind of very professional pictures already. And I think this is the best, people who have their breakfast, people who are on the couch, someone is in the garden, or the recent post, with the drink. But also we wanted to say, we kind of out of those plastic bottles, kind of, we make the shirts, so this is not going to waste. And yeah, to tell a little story and a personal story, yeah, it's always helpful.
Mm, definitely. I feel like people really appreciate like the story behind the design when you post a picture, and like almost like hearing about how the process of how you got to the picture that you've created. People love a bit of behind the scenes and sort of a bit of an insight how it's created essentially.